It is that time. It is finally that time. 77 days, 12 weeks, 321 laps have been completed, but it's the next 25 that very, very much matter. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Las Vegas. Welcome to the championship round. We have a driver's title to hand out around these 17 turns of the Las Vegas Strip of speeds up near 220 miles an hour. It is time to finally figure out who can take home silverware, not just in the drivers, but in the constructors as well. We welcome you in here to the booth. Welcome to Las Vegas. Welcome to the championship rounds. It is myself, it is Shiesty, it is Bro Joshua, all in the booth here this evening. It is a monumental finish to what has been a wild season that I only can say can't really be replicated any further than it has. We take a look at past seasons. How often have we had not just one title, but multiple titles come to fruition in the final race? It's been a very, very long time since we've done that. But for the two of you, Shiesty, we'll start with you. The big story coming into this one so far, the absence of the lead Mercedes. Offline Kids not here tonight, essentially taking one combatant out of the title. We will get into that as we go along.
Yes, very unfortunate. Just disappointment is how I'm feeling right now that he's not here. But you can only control what you control. So it was a hell of a season. I know, battling it out. And I'm going to say it now because it's the last race. McLaren, since this is the last race of the season, I don't care about the allegations anymore. Solzy, you can come for me if you want, but hats off to football, to B-Dot and Costa J. Whoever wins it is very much well deserving.
Well, and B-Dot for you, of course, it's for Joshua, for you, it's a challenge. It's one you've been fighting all season, but you have an opportunity to take home not just one but two trophies here this evening. It's going to be a very, very long 25 laps for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely kind of at that point where I'm stressing for my drivers. I know Costa, I know LJ, they definitely have the pace to bring this home. But of course, as we've learned in many different races throughout many different tiers, pace isn't all that really happens. Safety cars or pit stop strategy all comes down to how a driver can win. So, can my drivers bring it home? I have faith that they have the strength and speed to do it.
Well, we're on board with the Williams of season, who has found a way to go back-to-back to close out the season. He will not be in contention to go back-to-back for his titles, however. That will be in contention for the three drivers that we have left. We'll show those standings to you now. You can see the gaps up front are very, very, very slim. Offline Kids obviously not in the lobby so far, so you would have to think that it is going to be between the McLaren, between the Aston Martin for the driver's title, but only 3 points separating the two of them. It is pretty much going to be, Shiesty, whoever finishes higher of the two is going to take home this title. I mean, it's essentially a one-on-one fight, and it's going to take place on track as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a dogfight here tonight. LJAG setting the provisional pole time of 1:32. He was behind season there, I noticed. So I don't know if we'll get an impeding or anything going on there. Doubt it, but it is going to be it's going to be a dogfight though between B-Dot and Costa. These two drivers are the best of the best. They clearly are. They're in it for a title fight. I mean, if there is a race that you want to watch tonight, and this is your first time watching the Intrepid Racing League, this is the race to watch, because this is going to be an exciting race.
Not only that, it may not be as close, but the Constructors' Championship also needs to be decided tonight. The Aston Martins, 24 points adrift of the McLarens. Wow. Should McLaren find themselves in a spot of bother, it could turn the way of the Racing Green Aston Martins here at the conclusion of the evening. Not just one trophies in hand, but two trophies to walk away with here tonight, as we see Zizan still going fastest through that middle sector, we can do away with the championship leaderboards as of now and direct our attention to the final 13 minutes of qualifying. This is the man who has been so phenomenal for time and time again throughout the history of this league, one of the most prolific drivers to ever race. And he is looking like he is going to put in a vintage performance for us here tonight as the Brazilian comes around this final corner, turn number 17, and cut it to the line and post a 130.8. He's going to go almost one play. It is going to be 1.2 seconds faster.
My. What a lap. I mean, we all know Zizen. We all know how good. We all know Zizen. And everybody knows how much I like to glaze him. But he's fast. This B-Dot, if there is an independent factor in this race that we're gonna have tonight, it's gonna be Zizen. Zizen's gonna be that unidentifiable or factor in this race because of how fast he is. He could prevent B-Dot or Costa from getting that win tonight, but I don't think that could happen. But it'll be, if there's someone who's gonna add another factor into this race, it's gonna be Zizen.
Here we go.
Then definitely mind if I jump in.
Go for it. Yeah.
I actually was looking at the point spread. If Zezen wins and Costa gets P2 and B-Dot gets P3 on countback, B-Dot will get the championship as Costa has no wins and B-Dot does have one under his belt. So Zezen as the independent factor could absolutely kill the standings. Just him being here tonight.
Yeah, it's always an ominous presence to see the young Brazilian come into the lobby. We are on board with the aforementioned McLarens. This team has really seen it all, done it all this season. They have ridden the highs and lows of the 12-week calendar and will be looking to top things off with the highest of highs here this evening with a drivers and constructors title in hand as the Argentine comes through the final couple of corners, ready to gear up for his first lap of the evening. And if Franco can put in a very, very good time, you would just have to think that McLaren very much at this point likely understand that if they have a traditional McLaren performance, that they will take home that constructors title. Their form over the last couple of weeks has been nothing short of impeccable. But it is the team game that will need to be played. If the McLarens are in a good position, you would have to think that Franco is going to make that orange car extremely wide for Costa, and if Offline Kids is able to attend, he would certainly not be willing to cede ground very easily should any of them approach his gearbox as he navigates through the sphere now and can head down towards the Venetian and head through under the tunnels, under the lights. It is a phenomenal track, this one. A great controversy early on with a manhole cover shooting up through the gearbox of Carlos Sainz's car, but nevertheless, we have done away with that. It's been a few good races since, as Franco now is just now heading down the strip. He goes as he heads past the fountains on his right-hand side. He will be making the hard left-hand corner here very shortly, as it's the two Williams who have gone ahead and just locked out the front row here early on, but still 9 minutes to go. Plenty to be said in the conclusion of this qualifying session as one McLaren crosses the line to go sixth fastest. Another one is out onto the track. This on screen now is your championship leader. This is the man who is in the driver's seat, but it is still, Shiesty, all to do for B-Dot. It is all to do for Costa. As we mentioned ahead of time, all this comes down to finish ahead of the other guy, no matter how you do it.
Yeah, and B-Dot needs it. He needs it. I don't want to speak too much because I don't want to jinx him for this last race, but he needs it. And if there's anybody that can do it, I know he can do it too, and I know Costa can do it too.
That's the Aston Martin of LJ, who's out on the track as of now as well. Again, the Aston Martin's very much looking to try and essentially rob a constructor's title here this evening. It was a less than ideal performance last week at Abu Dhabi. Not really due to their own accord, but the two McLarens just sailing off into the distance very much did not do their championship hopes any good. As B-Dot now comes across the line to start his first lap of the evening. El-Jag will be slightly behind him. It looks like Costa, the other Aston Martin, is currently on a lap as well. So we'll keep tabs on the two Astons as the night goes along. Crucially as well, Costa just, as we've been saying all night long, only a couple of points behind the current championship sitter, the man on your screen right now, as Costa is just about to come into the final corner and will head across the line. He goes third fastest. A fastest final sector sends him into third position. So, gentlemen, at the moment, it's a 1-2 for Williams, but a 3-4 for the Aston Martins. Life is looking pretty good for the underdog here this evening.
Very much so. I know bro Josh was very happy about this second row lockout for right now, but B-Dot right now is on a scorcher of a lap, so we'll see if he can insert himself into the top 5.
And
he's getting a slipstream too.
I was just about to say that is Zizan, who's giving the two longtime veterans working together here almost with a little bit of a toe down that very, very long straight.
Mark split the Williams.
And there you go. That is certainly going to cause problems for Williams, but again, they don't exactly have a dog in the fight here this afternoon. It's more of a bit of a boost here this evening. Where can B-Dot send himself? It's fourth fastest, and here we go. It is fourth place for the man currently holding the championship lead. It is fifth position for the man hunting him down, but crucially, the other Aston Martin is right alongside him. What kind of team games can be played down at Aston Martin to attempt to upset the order is 7. Weasels in between the two Aston Martins. He goes 6th fastest, so the Astons 5th and 7th at the moment. The McLarens 4th and 9th. 5.5 minutes to go in qualifying. Everybody kind of down near the back is seemingly on laps. We'll go ahead and pick up, that's the Audi of Mac, the man in the Audi into the pit lane, and this is the Red Bull of Davis, who is just now heading through the tail end of the first sector. The two McLarens will be maybe just needing to work together here a little bit, and you gotta think there's a little bit of a conundrum forming at McLaren, because with how well the Astons have qualified so far, Franco needs to find a bit of time here. And I don't think that B-Dot would be able to afford to give his teammate a tow and such what is probably the most important flying lap of the season coming up ahead of him.
Yeah, he needs to get, B-Dot needs as much of time as he can get. Any sort of time that he can get on track, he needs to get. Same thing for Costa too. They both need to figure out if they want to be ahead of season, if they want to be on that front row. They got to find some time somewhere.
Davis now, the trailing Red Bull team principal, has got himself a cup win this time around. He's going to be able to hoist that one high at the end of the night, no matter how this one ends, and he's going to put himself into 12th position. So not a bad showing from the man who isn't all that familiar with this high-end grid, but nevertheless, he will be very proud of that performance as Derrigot will bring his Alpine into the pit lane. Alexis will come around. The Ferrari is on his in-lap. Who else might be on lap? Looks like Johan has invalidated his lap in the Haas. 3.5 minutes to go. He should have enough time to get in and out of the pit lane, but that will remain to be seen. And gentlemen, here we go. Costa on his out lap. We've got anybody else on an out lap. It is just Costa, maybe trying to beat the traffic, as they say. Nothing wrong with kicking it out of the office a couple minutes early and trying to beat everyone home. It's Costa who's trying to avoid maybe just a little bit of an issue of a congested middle sector. It can get very, very busy through the beginning of that middle sector as you face the sphere and navigate through some very, very clumsy corners. You got to think, I mean, the downforce here is practically none. And, you know, navigating a bit of a twisty-turny bit at the start of the middle sector isn't exactly what you want to be doing. I'm looking as well, Shiesty, for the Aston of LJAG. Will he be looking to try to give his teammate a bit of a tow here as well? The McLaren's in a bit of a sticky situation. Can't really do that with Franco all the way down in 9th. The Astons can somewhat afford to do that at the moment, and it could benefit Costa.
They do it.
And yeah, there you go.
They're doing it. I think they're doing it.
LJAG trundles out of the pit lane now, and he's going to be in perfect position to pick up his teammate. They've got plenty of time to do this as well, and I can only tell you that Costa's going to have to navigate a little bit of traffic. I think he's backed out of this
Looks like he's probably doing a build lap.
Yeah, I think he's. We've mentioned it a couple times in the past, going for that double out lap, just to make sure that you burn off as much fuel, you get those tires nice and rubbered in. And it's very much time to see, with the final minute and a half of qualifying to go in the season, where on earth will we find ourselves here over the next couple of minutes? Where on earth could these drivers start this race? That will be crucial here in 25 laps time. Only one way of knowing. We have to race the laps. We have to complete all of them to see exactly where we'll stand. We will go ahead and put BDOT on your screen. We will go ahead and put the Argentina Franco on your screen as well. They are the crucial cars at the moment. Well, actually, we'll go ahead and put LJAG on the screen instead of Franco. It will be the Argentine that crosses the line after these three on your screen now. Costa, the man we're currently following. It is going to be BDOT who starts the lap. And I'm just waiting here, and they seem a long way away from each other, the Astons. The McLarens are slowing up a little bit, and this is going to be a little bit of an issue, I think, because BDOT now is in a position to where he's pretty much going to get a free tow. He's going to get the slipstream off of LJAG. This is about as messy as it could get from the Astons here in the final qualifying session. And I think, be on the lookout here. Franco just gets to the line. I was wondering if he was going to be able to do it with just a couple seconds to go. He has done, and he will be able to start his lap. So it will be LJAG that comes across the line first, followed by BDOT, followed by Costa. It will be Franco that cleans up the field as we go along. Mark has invalidated his lap in second position. He's come across the line. He will start at least in second position. It could be worse as we follow along here with BDOT, who isn't quite close enough at the moment to try and get a little bit of a tow off of the Aston Martin, who in front of him isn't going any quicker. BDOT, however, has gone faster than his previous time through the middle sector. He will not get the benefit of a tow this time around. The Audi into sixth position to send LJAG down into eighth, Franco into 10th. It is time to figure out where everybody can find themselves at the end of this. Zizin reinforces his time up at the front as LJAG will come across the line. It will likely not be good enough. Clunky heads second fastest. Where does BDOT find himself at the end of all of this? It is fourth fastest. Does Costa have anything to say about it? That will be the question. Can the Aston Martin interject himself? He can't quite. It's BDOT that starts in fourth. The Williams lock out the front row. And that, well, hold on a second, because it's Franco that comes across the line, doesn't improve. So, gentlemen, we have ourselves a very, very interesting conversation that we need to have over the next couple of minutes while we wait for this race to go ahead and get underway, because at the moment, the Astons are in a position to possibly steal the Constructors' Championship out from the noses of the championship leaders, McLaren.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, it is BDOT with the drivers who has the advantage. Any swapping between those two at the start of this race will be the talk of the evening. There you have it. Confirmation then of your starting order. The Williams locking out the front row. Mark, the Chinese driver, starting in third. It's BDOT that starts in fourth. Costa in fifth. Stampso for Mercedes in sixth position, who has just left the session. So if you go ahead and shoot him an invite back, I'm sure he would appreciate that. The Audi of Nova, who starts in seventh. It is Seven who starts in eighth. LJAG in ninth. Franco in 10th is your top 10. And for McLaren, they could use a little bit of that experienced drive from their Argentine down just inside the top 10 to just reinforce this championship lead to make things a little more comfy as they go along the next 25 laps. Shiesty, thoughts and opinions on qualifying, because this is going to be, I think, probably the most riveting race of the season.
I'm more appalled that Offline isn't here. And I'm very sad about that. But this is, I was just double checking the standings real quick for the constructors with McLaren 24 points clear of Aston. They're in a chance where they could do it. Where Aston Martin could do it. You guys are in a position to do it. It's just a matter of, can you? I think you can, but Franco's a unit. I'm not gonna lie, but it's gonna be close.
The only issue is going to become the fact that the Williams have locked out the front row. It is buckets upon buckets of points that are needed to offset the lead that McLaren has, and at the moment, the major points are being clogged up by a team who are very much out of the fight, but proving that they still have a little bit of power in their punch here in the final race of the season.
Yeah, they need like I said, Z's and Clunky Boy, they're going to be these independent factors that are going to change the make of this race. They clearly are doing it right now, and they're going to do it during this race. And so it's just a matter of how will the McLarens and the Astons respond to this now roadblock that they have in this drivers and constructors fight.
Well then, we await our countdown. It is, we can see if I can pull up the permutations real quick. It is pretty much anyone's game. If either car, and I will say this because of where we are, because it is a street circuit, because chaos has happened more than once, should any car DNF from this race, and its title decided, and it will flip the other direction. If Costa goes ahead and crashes, it will swing the way of the McLaren regardless. The only thing that Costa would need, should BDOT fail to finish the race, is to finish inside the top 7. That is all that is required of the Aston Martin. We hope that situation doesn't take place, but crazier things have happened in title deciding fights.
I'm hoping.
Gentlemen, a touch on the strategy in this race. Obviously, lots of championship factors taking place at the moment, but what are we thinking for strategy? Likely the classic medium hard that we've seen over the course of this game, I'm sure.
Yes, very much a medium hard race. 25 laps, 1 stop, and drivers, you can ready up too if you can hear me. And here we go.
Well, here we go. We've waited 12 weeks for this race, and now it is lights out and away we go. The two Williams getting away very well, as it is the two Williams that are going to go side by side. It's Costa with a lunge down to the inside. Can he take the McLaren at the first time we're asking? It is not going to go his way. They stay as they were on the exit of turn number 4, but is still under pressure there in third position. The two Williams continuing to lead here, BDOT and Costa. both showing with warnings, but there's chaos a little bit further back as the Red Bull has to defend from Franco, who's made up not just 1 but 2 positions at the start.
This is going to be an exciting first lap. Here goes Costa looking a little bit on the inside. It's going to be back and forth. These Williams are going to be a huge roadblock for these two drivers.
No, we've got a yellow flag. That is looking like Dairy Goat that has found himself the wrong way at the sphere. The Alpine trundling there at the back, and I believe that's Stamso there that tagged him as well. Not a night to be a Silver Arrow as things stand. Meanwhile, Franco has made up 2 positions for McLaren. That's the key thing as of now. He is gotten out of 10th position, but crucially is losing touch with the rest of the field. Already 1 second adrift of the Red Bull in front, who's 1.3 seconds behind the top 6 pairing, as it looks like they want to go 3 wide between Mark, Mac, and Alexis. Nothing doing as of yet between these 3. But the Audi continues to head into the chicane. They go single file yet again. Conclusion of lap 1, 24 laps to go, and is the 2 Williams as they were coming across the line. B-Dot still leading this championship. Costa staying in 4th position and under just a little bit of mounting pressure from 7 of the Ferrari behind, and you just wonder if it's flashbacks to last week as the Ferrari runs extremely wide, may have tagged the wall there, and that will invite the pressure, and the easy pass from the Audi into 5th position goes Nova.
Yeah, this is the Audi and the Ferrari of 7 and Nova are going to be a factor now too in this race, with Costa and D-Dot sitting in between, sandwiched in between the both of them and these Williams. So it's going to be, they're going to add pressure to Costa. So Josh, I don't know how you're dealing with this first few opening laps. Eljag now back into the points now too. I can say that he's P11, but Williams starting to pull a little bit of a gap now from B-Dot. B-Dot catching them a little bit now too.
Yeah, but here's the problem, as this is not just a problem for the Astons, as Eljag there in 11th position, started on the hard tires. Stamso gets an, okay, I don't know where that one came from. Nevertheless, you've got Eljag who started on the hards, the only man on the hard tire outside of Stamso at the very, very back. It's Franco that is 2.7 seconds behind. And this is a two-faceted problem, because where Eljag can't make any progress on Franco as he defends from the Cadillac into the chicane, Franco, early on, with wing damage to the front right-hand side of that wing, we said early on that it could be a rocky and wild race. Well, here we go. We've got a little bit of damage to the McLaren to start things off. He defends to the inside, and it is Franco who is just going to have to concede that position. I don't think he's got any more downforce than the next guy at the moment, but he is still hanging on to this McLaren. But it's the Cadillac of Mark Lax that is trying to power his way through. He shows him all the way to the inside, but it is the McLaren that has to finally concede the position. Issues now for Souls and Company as Alexis is out of this race, and that is going to be a VSC. So the VSC is deployed, and I think Franco, we were watching that, is just barely in front of Mark as that VSC was deployed. The issue there for McLaren is I don't think that they're going to be able to get their trailing man back around to the pit lane and get a cheap pit stop here to get that wing change. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen. This VSC will only stay out here for so long now that Alexis has retired. So, but this does allow the opportunity for Costa to catch back up to B-Dot and allow B-Dot to catch back up to the Williams. So this could be an opportunity that someone may be able to take advantage from.
Yeah, these gaps are looking rather interesting at the moment. We'll keep our eye on the restart. VSC restarts so crucial. You can take 2 or 3 places on them. You can lose 2 or 3 places on them. Gentlemen, we may get back to the start-finish line here. The incident's been cleared, and
Franco may catch a break.
Yeah, Franco. Oh, that's going to be an issue. That is Mark, who gets a drive-through penalty. And I was just looking on the time.
As he's heading into the pit. Oh, no,
yeah. Well, and Mark that was kind of right on the gearbox of the McLaren, trying to get that good restart, and maybe just got a little bit too good of a restart. The top 5 very much have pulled away now. It is all eyes on the constructors on the battle for 8th position that LJAG is partaking in. But up front, back to our drivers' fight. And it is now the front 4 that are beginning to coast away from the rest of the field. Nova is just trying to keep pace with them, but it has more company of the Red Bull than it does anybody else. It is LJAG there who's challenging for 10th position. Can the Aston Martin finally find a way through? Costa now is extremely close to his title rival. You can see there, Costa just about a full battery, and it's B-Dot who isn't quite as charged up as his rival behind him. Could that become a factor as we go down the big long straight here in Las Vegas? The Strip dominates this track, and it won't look like a move here as of yet. They both are no longer using that battery, but Costa, look how more economical he is with that deployment, able to stay in touch with the McLaren in front as we come now to the conclusion of lap number 4. We are 5 laps into the 25 that we will be having here this evening as the battle for 5th position, as Nova has very much now a wing mirror full of Red Bull, who has just set the fastest lap of the race, as Franco has finally had to concede 8th position due to that damage, as these two, the Red Bull and the Audi, swap positions. That's for P5. It is Mac and LJAG now. This is for 10th. At every point for Aston Martin, a crucial one. Here's the Audi, makes a huge mistake, and that is going to gift LJAG 10th position. You can see there the Audi had to take evasive action, was not going to make the corner, and just like that, into the runoff area he goes. Into the top 10 goes the Aston Martin of LJAG.
Yes, LJAG. Thank you. Keep going. I believe in you.
And there you go. The Aston Martin Ultra is out in full force here this evening. It is the front 4 that have very much disconnected themselves now with the rest of the field here on lap number 5. Strategy here, gentlemen, is going to play a huge part, not just for the Williams that continue to lead this race. They're looking at a nice 1-2, but for B-Dot, for Costa, if you're talking to these guys right now, what are you telling them to do? Because there doesn't seem to be any way through at the moment with the pace that the Williams has. As B-Dot runs just a little bit deep into the corner there, and as he has a little bit of a moment coming out of the penultimate corner, could this open up the opportunity needed for Costa to go ahead and make this move? It is Costa that wants to make I'm looking at the complete wrong battle. This is Franco down in 8th position for LJAG to try and get through. It's the wrong McLaren and Aston Martin battle that I was thinking of. Nevertheless, this is LJAG trying to make up ground on the McLaren, and I think he might just have it this time around hard into turn number 5. It is B-Dot and Costa. We've seen one Aston Martin make a move on a McLaren. Now we're going to see a repeat scenario here out of turn number 9, not this time around on lap number 6, but a lot of defending to do now as the two Williams are continuing to lead here. Could they maybe swap positions for the lead of this race? The front 4 very much in tune with each other here on lap number 6. Could it be?
We might see an overtake.
Yeah, I think B-Dot's maybe thinking, right, I need to attack in order to defend here, because he's going to have a look at the trailing Williams at the moment, as Clunky now is under a little bit of threat from the Williams, from the McLaren behind. It is going to be B-Dot to the inside, but backs out of that one. A little bit of a lockup there from Zizant will not do him any favors. But regardless, they stay as they were. But the point I was making earlier is... Shiesty, if you were talking to one of B-Dot or Costa, I mean, the potential for the undercut is there, but for a track that is not great on the tires, you got to be careful. You very much have to be careful with any undercut you partake in.
Yeah, if I'm either of them right now, I'm telling them you're doing whatever the Williams are doing. If they're going to pit, you pit. If they stay out, you stay out. Because you have to stick with them. They're the factor that's going to change this race. and the factor that's going to be a deciding one. So they need to, if I'm B-Dot or Costa, I'm following the Williams and following whatever they're going to do.
Yeah. Let's see, Joshua.
You got that?
LJ is, there you go, very much secured that 8th position, and is now going to have to use those hard compound tires. Again, the only man that started on the hards to try and re-interject himself and Aston Martin, not just into this race, but into this title shout. As Franco's clinging onto the back of him, it's got to be said, the Argentine has done a very nice job. 40% wing damage on a track where there's walls everywhere is not the easiest to do. The Williams now are getting very, very close to each other. Another little lock up there from Zizin as Franco has he maybe gotten the move done on the straight. Yes, he has. They're wheel to wheel heading into the hard braking zone, into the chicane they go. It's the Aston Martin to the inside. It is LJ that maintains that lead, but they're losing touch with the rest of the field by doing all this battling, and maybe that is just the idea, as there goes Franco into the pit lane. So the early stop here from McLaren, needing to get that wing changed as well, could very well cause maybe just a few issues, but the undercut, as always is on this game, very, very, very powerful. As we go along in the next 17 laps, it will be very crucial to see where the Argentine can filter back into proceedings. Meanwhile, back up at the front, it's still the two Williams. When will these pit stops go ahead and start queuing? Is P-Dot and Costa getting very close again?
It's getting handsy out there. It's getting scrappy out there. They're going to fight. They're going to claw. It's going to be something you cannot take your eyes away from. These Williams being a huge roadblock to the McLaren and the Aston Martin of Costa. It's going to be exciting.
And you just have to wait and see, because the two Williams are right connected with each other. Does B-Dot have maybe a little bit of a run here? I think B-Dot may be having a little bit of a look at one of the Williams. This would do him a very, very nice favor, and he has gotten that move done into the chicane, takes the inside line, takes second position for B-Dot. That's exactly what he needed to put a car between himself and his title rival. Costa now has to navigate around a Williams who is not going to move out of his way very easy, but to the inside goes Clunky at turn number one, the long left-hander. It's the McLaren around the outside that then becomes the inside. Can the Papaya stick this one out on those worn medium tires? He absolutely can.
Oh my God, it was going to happen, and it's happening. Chat, it's happening. Chat, it's happening. It's happening. Chat, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening.
Chaos kicks off here on lap number 9. The two Williams, we mentioned that they could play a very, very large part in proceedings here tonight, and they are doing just that. Here on lap number 9, it is B-Dot that has now split the Williams and has given himself a car of insulation to the Aston Martin, his title contender behind him. As things stand, it is McLaren walking away with both trophies, as that has Stampso into the pit lane out of this race. That's the Williams to the inside. There was maybe a little bit of contact between the two, and I think that might be Clunky that goes ahead and loses yet another position. Costa now has the run on the outside. Can they maybe just find a way? It's the two title rivals that are wheel to wheel down the back straight here on lap number 9. Does Costa have the run that he needs? He's got the straight line speed. Clunky wants some taste of this battle as well. 3 wide heading into the chicane. Clunky backs out of it. It's the McLaren who spins. The McLaren in the wall. The McLaren is in the wall and facing the wrong way. Heartbreak for B-Dot. Heartbreak for McLaren.
They're both pitting because of that. They're both pitting.
Costa
so
lost his entire front wing. VSC deployed.
Oh, that's handy.
Boy.
That is life. That is a lifeline to both McLaren and to Aston Martin here.
All three cars had damage in that incident. All 3 cars with fresh front wings. So Clunky tried to back out of it at the very end. as I've got the nice visual glitch where nobody has a front wing at the moment. There we go. We'll go ahead and just re-equip.
Oh yeah, who doesn't love that?
That is absolutely beautiful. You ever wanted to see inside the front nose cone of an Aston Martin? Yeah, there you go. We're on board here with Costa. Clunky, as well, has, I believe, a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. We'll go, actually, you know what? We can go ahead and do this. We'll take a look at the penalties. There you go. 10-second time penalty to Clunky. So, the Williams likely out of this race. Another drive-through penalty as the VSC has ended. We can go ahead and get back racing once more. But gentlemen, this race has been turned completely on its head. The race turned sideways, as were the three cars at the end of the final, the last lap that we just saw. The championship fight also turned completely sideways. LJAG now in control of the drivers. Aston Martin could be slightly now tilting their way towards this constructors. What has happened over the last 3 laps?
It is going to be interesting, and also too, while I have the opportunity to do so, instead of only making this a 3-man, we're going to make this more the merrier. And I'm bringing Stamso in as a 4th man here. Is out of the race currently right now, but said he wanted to join the booth, folks. So, but Stamso, welcome to the booth, and now you can give your thoughts to this race too.
Yeah, well, I was just in the VC. They were all yelling, of course, as you probably saw. Yeah, disconnected. Game glitch put me a lap down, so we're calling it a day.
Fair enough. I would if I was you too, if I'm being honest.
Well,
I was gonna pray for a safety car, but unfortunate.
You might not have been far off.
Yeah, we almost got one there, but this train now in 5th position, consisting of the Audi of Nova, the Aston Martin of Costa. Clunky with that 10-second time penalty certainly isn't acting like it either, because he is going to give Costa a run for his money, heading down into turn number 12. Nothing doing as of yet, but has the length of the strip in order to try and attempt the overtake, as everybody still has no front wings, or at least no front nose cones for me. So enjoy this one to the very end. This is the Williams looking very racy on the battery and through into 6th position as they go wheel to wheel, and has the move done before the corner and can tee up the Audi in front of him. But Costa now has to look at this from a perspective of not just himself, but also the team, as that's the Audi of Nova headed into the pit lane. So it will be Clunky and Costa that retake 5th and 6th position. Does Costa have what it takes to take anything into turn 1? Not this time around. 7 comes out of the pit lane. He will most certainly be looking to interject the Ferrari into this fight for 4th position now. And again, that 10-second time penalty is going to loom over the heads of the Williams. Zizin and Mark have still yet to pit, as has LJ in 3rd position. 7 has gone into the pit lane and had to serve that drive-through penalty, so he's still on those worn mediums. So Mark Kim is another man that also needs to pit. For McLaren now, it is chaos time. It is panic time. They're 5.5 seconds off of where they need to be to get a driver's title, and they are very much at risk of seeing their constructor's title slip away at the final time of asking. And I can tell you as well that I have a nice little note from the stewards here that this result, because of that earlier incident, may very well be needing to be put on hold.
Yes, it very much will be too. And I also want to note as well, as I'm seeing people type in the chat about the title fight right now, as it stands, I think, if I'm correct, if this is correct, LJ, yes, LJ. I think LJ now in the lead of this race. B-Dot is out. He's out. Costa wins this title fight as of right now, if the results stay the same.
Yeah, and I think the point of contention is going to be McLaren are going to be asking for a penalty to the Aston Martin, but I think the bigger problem is the Williams in this situation.
Culprit was the Williams.
Yeah, so there's not going to be a penalty that's going to be able to be applied to Costa to potentially send him back behind BDOT. If you're BDOT, you need to get this done on the track, and you need a safety car, you need something, but being 3.5 seconds behind a pack that leads all the way up to second position is not going to be helping your chances at all. I can tell you as well, lap times at the moment, Costa is doing 134.7s, BDOT is doing 34.9s. It is spreading the gap between the two title contenders at the moment, and McLaren certainly are going to be up in arms and likely staring daggers at the Williams pit wall as there goes Clunky to retake third position from the man he had an incident with just a couple of laps ago.
Yes, it is now turning into Aston Martin's favor right now, this race, but it is going...
We've got a safety car. Full safety car.
Oh!
What?
The manifestation! Drewski manifested this in chat!
How this race...
It happened!
How this race continues to shock. L-Jag into the pit lane. It works out well for him.
L-Jag!
L-Jag is into the pit lane, medium tire on the Aston Martin. He will come out in second position. It is Zizan in the pit lane as well. Costa has also ventured in addition 7 into the pit lane too. It's the Haas who crashed on the main straight down the strip, has caused the safety car here on lap 14. Boy, it's looking like it at the moment. BDOT into the pit lane as well. There you go, Clunky. Mark Lax stays out.
Back out again.
Mac into the pit lane. Everybody has taken a trundle down the pit lane. And I will tell you this right now, boy.
BDOT wins.
As things stand, BDOT wins the title because of where they are. It would do so by a point. And again...
Aston Martin, I think, would take it.
Yeah, so... Right. Let's just do this. Leaderboard away. Let's go ahead and pull up our championship standings. This is how we were in the driver's title coming into tonight. A 3-point lead for BDOT up front is what is going to be the talking point of this race so far, but it was the incident on lap number 10 that has kicked off the craziness that we have seen over the last 4 laps. The incident at turn number 14, the chicane entering the final sector, is going to be probably the most talked about thing over the next week and a half. We're going to take a look. We'll go ahead and show you the penalties as of now. We'll go ahead and get that off our screen. Everybody has cleared any drive-thrus and any speeding in the pit lane penalties. 3 seconds to the name of the Alpine of Dairy Goat at the moment. L-Jag with 2 warnings to his name. Keep that in mind as we go through the evening. Both McLarens have yet to venture off the track. It is 1 warning to Costa as well. How this pendulum continues to swing, Shiesty, I'm struggling for words.
It's insane. Dude, we all knew this race was going to be electric. I've been screaming my head off at certain points in this race. This race is going to be electric. This is probably the race of the year, maybe in this league. This is probably the race of the season of this league.
I can get behind that.
I think all of us could agree with it, with how craziness in this is turning into almost like Abu Dhabi 2021. Like it feels like it's giving that feel to me. Like I never personally, I was never there to watch it live, but I watched it on Drive to Survive, and this is giving me that same feeling. Is the anxiety, the anticipation in the air.
And I don't want to alarm anybody. The telemetry that I have on the left-hand side of my screen and what I've just had visually confirmed as Costa drives past on our camera, that Aston Martin is missing a left front end plate.
Oh, no.
46% wing
Oh,
damage
no.
to the Aston Martin, his championship rival, right on
Oh,
his
yeah, he
gearbox.
is.
B-Dot is right there for the taking, much like Franco had on lap 1 of this race. A repeat has happened to the Aston Martin here on lap number 15. What has gone on down at Aston Martin over the last couple of laps? They're going to have to hold that thought because the safety car is in this lap. Mark, coming out of nowhere after a very strong qualifying, has the ability now to lead them over the line. LJAG and Zizin, fresh medium tires. Everybody is on brand new tires at this stage of the race. It is 10 laps. And it's practically a sprint to the finish here to settle these two championships. The Red Bull leads them across the line as Zizin is going to take the first opportunity he can to try and go around the outside. There's chaos taking place down at the back. Costa losing those positions to the other Williams around the outside. They bang Williams. They bang wheels, rather, as there's chaos at the back. That's an Alpine. That's the Alpine. Derek is out of this race, and another safety car deployed. Marquez gets a 10-second penalty.
He got his wing damage.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
How bad?
This is
How bad are we talking?
This is swing.
All right.
This is
He's
swung.
missing more than an end plate. there.
Well,
You don't
gentlemen,
may be forced to pit.
gentlemen, I can tell you, B-Dot, 53% wing damage to his car. Costa, 46% wing damage. The Williams, the two Audis, and the Cadillac all have extremely major wing damage. Everybody in this conversation now needs to pit. And just like that, the two drivers that were trundling at the back, fighting things out for 9th and 10th of LJAG and Franco, are going to be fighting things out for a podium here, essentially. There are no words that describe what we've currently seen display in front of us.
I witnessed the
damage. Oh, sorry. You may go.
I witnessed the tail, like the starting of the Alpine. I watched it from behind Franco, behind B-Dot's car. I saw the smoke coming. I don't know if B-Dot caused it. I don't want to think he caused it. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I did see it. What I did see was they just went into turn 2 and they just, one of them made, I don't know if either of them turned in on each other or one went wide, but B-Dot just hit that Alpine's rear right tire and it just went round.
Well, gentlemen, B-Dot has stayed out.
No.
B-Dot has stayed out.
That's interesting call.
Costa has come into the pit lane. He will have the opportunity to join the back of the field along with the three others that he is pitted with. Clunky onto softs, hard tires elected for everybody else as things stand. There you go. Costa out of the pit lane, fresh hard tires, and well, no, they're not fresh hard tires. They're the same tires that he was using before. So 4 laps on his current compound, but a fresh front wing, whereas the two McLarens currently have no such thing. But I can tell you this right now. This is just about what we were mentioning briefly during qualifying. Look where the McLarens are, and look where Franco is. That is about to be the Great Wall of McLaren holding things down in P6.
Yep.
Yup. That is about to be the Great Wall of Papaya.
I also just got some insider information. The contact between the drivers, we do have an assumption it was most likely caused by B-Dot, the full car pileup into turn 3. If it is seen that he is the one that is held responsible for it, that is not going to be a light punishment whatsoever. And with only 8 laps to go, if he does get seen to be the one at fault, that wing damage may slow him down to the point where that penalty might kick him below Costa's position just enough that he may lose the WDC due to that incident if he is seen at fault.
Man, it's a rather unfortunate situation that is not likely that we're going to be able to call it the title here at the conclusion of this race. So much has happened in the last 8 laps that it is very much going to be difficult to say who is going to win this, because the fight in the stewards room is likely to be just as hard as the fight that we've currently seen out on track. Mark heads into the pit lane too. That's one less car for the Aston Martin to clear.
I did see Mark hit the back of Franco in the final, like, chicane. I don't know what's gone down there. He's also got a penalty.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and display the penalties now. It is only Mark Lax who is showing with a time penalty to his name. He has thus cleared that time penalty and will rejoin the back of the field. So nobody has penalties on track. But to your point earlier, Joshua, B-Dot with that front wing damage, should he think to himself right now, all right, well, I might get maybe a 5-second time penalty, that wing damage is certainly going to hamper his ability over the next 6 laps to go ahead and try and get a 5-second gap to just build that cushion just in case.
Also, earlier as well, the huge contact between Costa and B-Dot, there is also a possible chance that either one of them could be seen, because it was 3 wide originally, but Clunky backed out, as Shiesty notably said earlier, which means the contact became between Football Dog and Costa, causing damage to 3 drivers and the VSC. So that right there, one of them could be penalized for that. It could be Costa or Football. So will the penalty go to Costa and then Football Dog get his and the cushion be just enough? Or will both penalties be seen Football's or B-Dot's way? It's impossible to tell. So no matter where these drivers finish on track, I don't think we can comfortably say who wins the WCC and the WDC just because of all the incidents that have happened with our championship leaders.
Yeah, it's going to be a fight into the night nonetheless. It's going to be... McLaren are probably in the best position at the moment. The penalties hang over their head, but with such an experienced driver of Franco, they're sat in 6th position. He knows exactly what needs to be done here. There's no secret of what he needs to do for himself, for his team, and I don't think anybody that is behind him is going to be shocked by how hard he is defending that position, and he is going to hope and pray that the top 5 essentially sail off into the distance over the final 5 racing laps that we are about to have to try and not just capture a constructor's title, but capture a driver's title as well, because this is going to be very, very spicy. And it's like they say, and we've seen it here already, safety cars breed safety cars. There is not to say that we are not going to have maybe one more incident that turns this race on its heel in the remaining 5 laps of this race.
Also, Eljag's position is a factor we haven't considered yet. He's in front of B-Dot. Eljag has the opportunity to hold B-Dot and possibly kill the momentum that B-Dot is going to try and use on Costa.
The only issue for the McLaren, or the Aston Martins rather, is that they need the points in order to take home a constructor's title. So it could very well come down to, you're going to have to pick one here, Aston Martin. You're not going to be able to get both. Safety car in this lap. Mark will go ahead and control the field yet again. Mylander into the pit lane. The Red Bull has control of the field. It will be his prerogative as to when we get racing yet again. He took it all the way to the line the last time around. Looks like he is pretty much prepared to do the same yet again. When will that Red Bull take hold of the field? He is gone now. He has Zizin right along with him. We're racing yet again. It's the 2 McLarens that are going to go wheel to wheel, as that's Frenny that goes ahead, or sorry, 7 that goes to the inside. That is Zizin, who has lost many positions. Costa hasn't been able to make up anything as of yet, as Eljag now is applying just a little bit of pressure to the Ferrari, as the Ferrari defends to the inside, tries to break that slipstream. The 2 McLarens behind him may be going side by side as well. It is B-Dot, who continues to stay in front of his teammate. No taps of the wall. That is just a little bit of a tap of the wall there from the Red Bull team principal of Davis down in 11th. Costa now has to make up a bunch of positions. It is the two Williams that swap positions as there's collision at the back.
Holy shit, Costa.
Franco's just put 5.
VSC.
VSC deployed.
I just saw Franco spin around and put Season in the wall.
And that.
Yeah, and Costa avoided 3 cars. He got no damage despite having to avoid 3 cars going sideways.
Oh my god, he's in P6 too!
Costa
Clunky's out.
And there you go. Clunky is out of this race. The VSC has been deployed. Damage to the Williams of Zizin. Damage to the Audi of Nova. No damage to the McLaren of Franco. They're in 5th position. But boy, when I tell you that this championship is no longer going to be decided on the road, it will be decided in the steward's office. That is very much an understatement at this point of the night. 5 laps remaining here. The drivers are going to have to settle this one out on track and see how it plays out at the end of this one as B-Dot comes nice close to the wall there. Franco now, here we go. We mentioned that this is going to be the most disgusting defending that you are likely to see of all time. The Great Wall of Argentina being built. Zizin, after leading a majority of this race into the pit lane, out of this race. The two McLarens continue to find themselves in 4th and 5th position. LJAG is just getting away from them at the moment. They're in 3rd to pick up a rare podium for the man who's been meddling in the midfield for most of the season. He now is very much in control of Aston Martin's future here. Their fate is very much in his hands as Franco again, just a little bit of wheel spin on the exit of the corner. B-Dot now 1.3 seconds behind the front 3. Costa is just going to have a little bit of a run here at the Argentine. Can he maybe get the move done into the chicane? He's going to defend it, is Franco, but this is going to be the fight that we see all night long. Both cars on the battery as we head down the strip here in Las Vegas. They both continue to boost. They both continue to drain. Costa is out of battery. It's Franco that just has a little bit more. That may prove to be the difference, but the slipstream could go the way of the Aston Martin. He peels to the inside, but does seem a little bit too far back. Franco may just have to shorten up just a little bit to make sure he doesn't run into the back of his teammate that he has been defending for the last lap.
Yeah, and another thing to note too. Yes, another thing to note too, the Williams.
Oh, hang on, gentlemen, because I think LJAG may, this is Costa that, just thought he's going to maybe try and pull the switchback and tags. He tags Franco in the gearbox. He tried to pull the switchback. Franco parked it on the apex, said, "You're not getting by this time." And Franco defending yet again the gap between B-Dot and Costa. 1.4 seconds now. Costa has to get through the McLaren as the Argentine makes a little bit of contact with the wall. Could there be a move into the chicane? It's the Aston Martin to the outside. It's the McLaren to the inside. They make contact on the entrance and exit of the corner. It's the Aston Martin that still continues this fight to the outside. It is the Aston Martin that has to hang tight just for a second. They might still be wheel to wheel. They are still wheel to wheel, and that is the move done for Costa. The Canadian gets his way through, but is it going to be an immediate reply from Franco down this straight? He's got the battery. He's going to have this benefit of the slipstream.
LJAG burn.
Does Costa have what it takes to defend? This is going to be in the wake of that previous move. That is Franco back into 5th position. You can hear Bro Joshua, the Aston Martin team principal, begging his drivers to get farther away from the two McLarens. That has not come to fruition as of yet. As things stand on track,
so much battery.
As things stand on track, it is still both titles headed the McLaren's way.
Two, and one thing to note as well,
LJAG's under pressure now.
Are battling it out for the lead of this race.
And LJAG has just nearly put B-Dot out of this race. That was a very, very close move between the Aston Martin and the McLaren. I'll tell you right now that B-Dot's not likely to be very happy about that, especially with the wing damage he's already suffered. Not looking to assume any more damage to his car, as B-Dot now is going to look to go the long way around, as it's going to be wheel-to-wheel action, and I don't think L-Jag saw that coming. They're going to bang wheels on the exit. There's your battle for the lead that's going right past your eyeballs. We can't be focused on that at all because of all the action taking place for this title fight. There is no where to rest along this track.
There's nowhere to rest. This beat-up fight's gonna be something about. Oh, my seat. Can see Pro Joshua getting amped up too? We're getting amped up in the booth. This is gonna be insane.
Come on. Like, bro, that is my goats right there.
L-Jag now has a little bit of battery to play with. He's using it down this straight. B-Dot has nothing to use. He's completely all out of the tank. Is L-Jag going to be able to defend this? Is Franco going to be able to defend into the corner? They're both wheel to wheel heading into the chicane. Is it going to be a double move for the Aston Martins? It is a double move for the Aston Martins. Then Aston Martin 3-4 has turned the tide here in this championship fight. The two McLarens have had to concede the positions. B-Dot now is going to let Franco go ahead. What do we think about that move here on the penultimate lap?
Let Costa buy and defend.
Oh my God.
You know what to do. You know the team game here. You got to play it. Come on.
It's good strategy from the McLarens to try and get Franco without a front, who does have a front wing, to try and make something happen here. Maybe just hold on.
Oh, he spins him! He spins him. That's Franco. That's Franco. That's gone straight into the back of Costa there at turn number 6. It's Costa now that has to defend all on his own. L-Jag is 1.7 seconds up the road.
Yeah, he's slowing.
A little bit of wheel spin as Marklax has caught the tail end of this battle as well. He's on the soft tire. Could the Cadillac maybe cause some problems at the end of this? Here goes B-Dot trying to rescue his title hopes as they go into turn number 12. All important to get a good exit out of here on the penultimate lap of this race. It is L-Jag from Costa, from B-Dot, from Franco. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th position. This is turning the championships on its head, but it's B-Dot who wants to go wheel to wheel, headed down the straight here on lap number 24.
Let Costa buy. Yes,
it is Costa.
Yes,
they're going to squeeze them into each other. It is L-Jag who's defending. They're 3 wide yet again. It's spinning and crashing behind him. That is B-Dot into the wall. That is B-Dot with even more wing damage. Franco, L-Jag, and Costa all have wing damage. As we go here on the final lap, these two up front have been putting on show all on their own.
What's going on there?
Marklax has taken advantage of the whole situation and is looking at a podium for himself. It's Franco now that has the podium position. It's Marklax that wants to upset the order. It's B-Dot who is going to feel wronged here on the final lap of this race. How many different directions has this race gone tonight? It will try to maybe just head the Red Bull and Ferrari's way, as 7 now is going to battle this one out for the lead of this race, and it is Franco and Costa as Mark and 7 swap positions yet again, and is L-Jag and B-Dot down there for 6th and 7th place. And to the chicane, nothing doing as of yet, but B-Dot just pushing L-Jag along. He's doing the team game here. Is L-Jag, he's trying everything he can to hold up his teammate's title rival, to try and cause some problems here on the last couple of corners of this season. These two at the front,
you've got the battery,
and very much checked out.
Use it.
We will carry on here over the final couple of corners. This will be decided in the steward's office, but on the track now, it is Franco, it is Costa, it is Costa who's going to go wheel to wheel, and he's ahead, heading into the chicane. It's Marklax that wants to get involved in this as well. B-Dot has fallen back behind an Audi. It's Costa that has 3rd position. It's the Red Bull that will come across the line to win. 7 comes into 2nd. It is Costa and Franco that are going to lose out. It's the McLaren that finishes on the podium. It's Costa that finishes 4th. And what do we have in front of us? What do we have to round out the night?
The McLaren podium.
The McLaren is on the podium. That is all they needed to secure a constructor's title. But there will be conversations that last into the night. The McLarens have what it takes to get the constructors done. As things stand, gentlemen, I'll go one by one. It is Costa who walks away with the driver's title. As things stand, we have a lot to go through. At the conclusion of this race. There is no easy way about this. There is nothing that we can say at the moment.
Toasty, God rest your soul.
And Toasty, if you're around, I'm not saying we should do it, but it'd be a fun idea. If boy, do we want to have a live stewarding session?
That would be insane if we were able to pull off a live stewarding session. I think Toasty would be up for it, I think, but it would be insane if we did it.
Okay, I will say this now. I will say this calmly and nicely. If Toasty wants to do this, I'm not going to peer pressure him into doing it. He can DM me.
Oh, no, never mind. Lewis is shutting that down.
Right,
Lewis is shutting it down in the chat. Okay,
we tried. Come on.
We tried.
It was an idea.
Lewis shut it down. It's okay.
We tried. Idea.
It's okay. If the owner says no, we oblige. But what a finale.
Let's do this then.
What a finale.
Where is the ticket already open? Let's ask that question. Is the ticket already open?
I think what we need to do is we need to head to the I think what we need to do, we need to take this to the cool down room and we need to see.
I will open up the floor.
We need to hash this out in the cool down room floor is what we need to do. And I think we still need to be streaming for this because this might be, we might get some cool stuff in here, to say the least.
I just hope we don't get the channel banned.
This is going to be a very, very controversial afternoon. But from what it looked like, from what I could see, Costa was involved in only one incident between the two drivers. But then there was the one where Franco nuked out Costa, almost killing him. So this is going to be a very interesting stewarding and how that's all going to go, because the WCC and the WDC, I feel like, will flip so much during the stewarding.
Well, here we go. We're gonna go to the cool down room. We're gonna go to the cool down room.
Do I get permission to speak there or no?
Let me see. How do I do this? I need to go ahead and cue this up. Yep, there we go. Life is very good if you would like to be involved in this. This is going to be a fun afternoon. We will wait for... we'll go ahead and just kind of put this into the chat as of now. I'll just go ahead. We will link this, and we will get things underway. Boy, oh boy. We will await everyone to pile in. Please, if you join the cooldown room, do not say anything to get the channel banned. That is the only requirement. That is the only requirement. Please do not do that. But go ahead and... Well. Yeah, I had a feeling that might happen. I don't think this is going to happen. Nevertheless, we will await long into the night the results of this one. If we can get some numbers into here at the moment, Shiesty, I see you. We can go ahead and try to get things up and running here. Shiesty, go ahead, bring you up. Let's see. There you go.
Yes. First off, I know we got
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's go ahead and see if we can get a crowd in here. If not, we'll go ahead and just kind of end things as they are and sit back and relax to see how the rest of the night goes.
I definitely can say this. I was in the VC real quickly with D-Dot, Zizen, and Solzy and learned some very interesting things. Very much McLaren is going to be raising arms over this race. And I also, too, from a team principal standpoint, I gave my respects to D-Dot and to Solzy on a job well done to a fantastic season. I mean, regardless of what happens, a job well done to both driver, team principal. Hats off. But we're not going to know who the WDC is for a while, maybe.
Well, why don't we go ahead and just call things there for the night.
That's
and
fine
we
right
will
there.
we will await the announcement, hopefully sometime tomorrow, of who can rightfully lift both the drivers' trophies and constructors' trophies. Until then, that is the season done. That is 12 weeks in the books. I believe a fresh calendar is out shortly. It is going to be an action-packed season 8. If season 8 picks up anywhere where we have left off tonight, it is going to be a very, very fun season 8 ahead. There is never going to be a dull moment that we find ourselves with heading into the next time out. For that being said, Shiesty, I want to thank you for sticking it out with me all season. That was a good time. We'll definitely be getting back to it.
Yeah, I think we got to do this again sometime. I don't know if you're available season 8, let's run it back. But that was a hell of a season. Job well done to everybody into this league. I just want to say this I've only been in here for a little bit now, almost a year, which just feels crazy to even say, but this probably been one of the most exciting seasons we've had so far, at least in my short time in IRL, and it's been insane. So I just want to say thank you all for a wonderful, wonderful season, and I can't wait to see you in season 8.
Well, for myself, for Shiesty, for Bro Joshua earlier, who will be fighting tooth and nail in the steward's room all night, for Stampso that joined us earlier, we thank the two of them for jumping in and contributing their time to the evening. It's going to be a wild ride over the next 24 hours. Just hang out, see how things go. Please don't say anything that you are going to regret. And then life will be good. For the time being, that is all I have. At the moment, as things stand, we will see you next season. A calendar out shortly. A fresh set of tracks are just about ready to rock and roll. And until then, we are going to see you next time. Until season 8, we'll see you then.